Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mupo and Friends.
We are Jessilyn Persson,
And I'm Michele Mupo.
and we're brought to you by Mupo TV.
And you can catch all of our shows anytime at www.mupoentertainment.com.
And you can also live chat with us every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel during the premiere of each episode.
Tune in Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern. Our chats are live and they are rocking. And I have to say, we've had some pretty cool guests who even shared some things on Mupo and Friends that they've never shared before. We got it first.
I know, right? And if you're there live, sometimes they hop in and actually live chat with us at the time we premiere. That's super cool. I want to thank you for tuning in to our show where we love bringing you awesome celebrities and entrepreneurs you want to know. So, Michele, did you have a Mupo awesome week?
Yes, I did. I had an awesome, actually, it was a Mupo awesome week. Did you have a Mupo awesome week?
I sure did. It's the first week my boys are in bike camp, and I gotta say it's pretty cute when they come home and show me little tricks they do on their bikes.
So, are they doing Papa Wheelies yet?
Not yet, but they're doing some kind of like when they're rolling, they hit the brakes and jump.
Oh, the back wheel and the back wheel raises?
I don't know, something like that.
Very cool. Very cool. See, when we were growing up, it was skateboarding,
Right.
right? So, these things change. We have to get with the times. But check this out. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with our special guest.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Mupo and Friends. Our special guest today is a clinical naturopath, Reiki master, NLP practitioner, Kundalini yoga practitioner, end-of-life doula, and owner and founder of Optimum Health Clinic in Montreal, Quebec. She is a counselor in the areas of PTSD, grief and loss, bereavement, depression, anxiety, adjustment to injury or illness, and trauma. She's also the author of Caregiving, A Journey of the Heart, Stories to Feed the Spirit and Nourish the Soul. Please welcome Irene Andrejczuk. Hello, Irene. How are you?
Hi.
Hey,
I'm
Irene.
just so delighted to be here. Oh my goodness. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this wonderful opportunity. I'm really humbled and honored.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure, to see you again. We love you. And we're so glad that
Yes.
you're on Move On Friends. Now, I just wanted to ask you, how does alternative medicine improve or expand on traditional medicine?
Very good question. Well, alternative medicine is natural and non-invasive, and it allows an individual to take a more active role in their treatment and recovery and in partnership with their practitioner. So it expands in traditional medicine because the patient or client, if you will, might get a lot of comfort from the touch, the talk, and time that a complementary practitioner offers, which is an important part of the healing process.
So, Irene, what is naturopathy and how can it be used to prevent illness as well as heal?
Well, naturopathy, it concentrates on whole wellness. So body, mind, and spirit. Okay, and the philosophy is based on a person's inherent ability to self-heal, meaning the body knows and can heal itself naturally. So it embraces many therapies. It herbs, massage, acupuncture, Reiki, and nutritional counseling. So the ultimate goal of naturopathic medicine is prevention. So it is accomplished through education, promotion of dietary and lifestyle habits that foster good health. You can prevent illness with regular detoxes. Or example, I'm really of the philosophy that, example, if you eat like a diabetic, you're less likely to get diagnosed with the illness. So we help a client assess risk factors and hereditary susceptibility to disease and make appropriate interventions to avoid further harm and risk. That's prevention.
Right on. So tell us about Reiki. I know I've experienced it with you on a Sunday. You did distant Reiki with us. So what is it exactly for those for our audience who doesn't know, and how does it benefit your health?
Well, the word Reiki comes from Japanese words rei, universal, and ki, life energy. So Reiki is really a type of energy healing or medicine that targets the chakras in the body, those energy wheels. So energy medicine aims, to help the flow of energy and remove blocks, because when negative energy is stored in our cells, eventually an illness will manifest in the physical body. So some of the benefits of Reiki, it can enable relaxation, improve your sleep, reduce physical pain, relieve emotional stress, speed healing, and even reduce symptoms of illness, like for cancer.
So I'm curious, a little off script here, but if someone doesn't believe in Reiki, do you find it can still work with them, or is it something they need to kind of be open to for it to work?
It, of course, would help if a client or person is more open to it. But it would probably still work because we are energy. So if you're in that calm, serene state and you just allow someone to help you, it will probably work.
Awesome. So what are the benefits of yoga for both the body and the mind?
Yoga. Well, a regular yoga practice that incorporates meditation and breathing, there's so many benefits. It can include your mental clarity, and it sharpens your concentration. It calms and centers the nervous system, relaxes the body, relieves stress, improves physical strength. What else? It can reduce muscle tension, strain, inflammation, helps with back pain relief, and really even it benefits people diagnosed with mental illness. Yoga has many positive benefits on mental health.
And how has the pandemic changed people's vulnerabilities with this?
Wow. I think the pandemic has changed our vulnerabilities in our personal relationships, how we are able to spend our free time, our physical and mental health, or that of someone that we know, politics, safety precautions, our jobs or jobs of people we know, and of course our personal financial situation or the economy in general.
So Irene, can you give us some tips, some simple tips on moving forward in the new normal?
Well, life adjustments often come with a wide range of experiences and emotions. And sometimes that transition can feel smooth, and other times the journey to the new normal can feel really choppy or just downright bumpy. So some of the simple tips that I can suggest and have even helped me, and people I know moving forward, is just that it's okay not to feel okay. And it's vital to avoid pretending that everything's okay if it's not. And it's also okay and encouraged to seek and support and help. Another tip would be to view the new normal as a gift, finding joy in the many simple pleasures that you're returning to. And then to anticipate those pleasurable moments that you'll be sharing, reconnecting with friends in person or at small gatherings with loved ones. So adjustment it's always a process that looks differently for most people. And this process is not linear or well-defined. So really patience and flexibility are really important also as you move forward into the new normal, and to just be respectful of where you are in the process and also where others are. So to show some self-compassion. So really, I would say the key to make a commitment is to move on, relish each day, despite its challenges, and to train your mind to seek out the positive and find the beautiful in this new normal.
I have to agree with you on that
Yes.
because I think it was a blessing that COVID happened. Personally, even though a lot of people suffered from it, I really think it was a blessing because there's people that don't even get vacations and they got to rest. They got to be with their family. I mean, yeah, it was a little hectic, but I think it was a blessing that it happened. But I wanted to ask you, so tell us about SOFT, soft skills, and how they make a difference in the area of the mental wellness.
Well, mental health issues can often make people feel isolated, and using the soft skills can enable a client to talk more openly and feel supported, and then in turn having a positive effect on their thoughts and their feelings. And there are 4 soft skills, and they are listening, like active listening. So really it's 80% listening and only 20% of speaking of the time as a counselor.
Wow.
Really, really important. Holding that space for the client. Being accountable, and that means doing what you say you'll do. And that builds trust. Trust and rapport are imperative and are always necessary in order to work with the client and help them through their healing process. So if you promise to follow up on something, to do it. And then having emotional intelligence and having empathy. That means, understanding the client may have different viewpoints or tolerance to stress and pressure. They may see things from a different perspective than you. So, and it's really about the client. So having empathy can help the counselor relate to the client.
Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
On Mupo and Friends. Irene, what factors do you consider when creating an individualized treatment plan?
The number one thing I consider is my client, because everybody and every body is different. And it's not a one-size-fits-all plan or a Band-Aid method. It's really about getting to the root cause of any condition. So that being said, I consider that what the client has tried, what has worked, what has not worked, and really what the client is willing to do now, because compliance is key. So I take into account their current lifestyle and diet, their family and work environment. Very, very important. And make any modification and changes that will serve to augment their healing process.
Well, what are some of the types of causes of hormonal imbalance? Because I'm sure I have that.
85%. Funny you mentioned that, Michele, because really 85% of women have some form or degree of hormonal imbalance. So because the endocrine system secretes more than 50 or so different hormones in the body. And each one plays a vital role in homeostasis or balance. So really the most common imbalances in both men and women are really caused by 5 hormones: cortisol, estrogen, progesterone, insulin, and testosterone. So, and some common causes of hormonal imbalances include chronic or extreme stress. No surprise there, because stress can cause, up to 90% of, physical conditions. It will manifest into physical conditions. Type 1 and type 2 diabetes, hyperglycemia, the overproduction of glucagon, or hypoglycemia. That's when more insulin is produced than there is glucose in the blood. Another very common cause of a hormonal imbalance is an underactive thyroid, hypothyroidism, or the opposite, an overactive thyroid, hyperthyroidism. Yeah.
Interesting. So, Irene, what is a mind, body, spirit process that we'd be surprised to find is affected by a hormone imbalance?
Well, an imbalance of hormones drastically affects the brain chemistry and communication between the brain cells, the neurotransmission, how they talk to each other. So the detrimental impact on one's health can be physical or mental and emotional. And then it includes issues with growth development, metabolism, sleep, sexual development, diabetes, thyroid, or brain health deterioration.
Now, can you tell us about the 3 major waves of grief?
Yes, the first wave of grief is the avoidance of reality. So during this period, the grieving person experiences denial, shock, and possible numbness. The second wave is often referred to as the encounter with reality. This is where the reality of for the death of your loved one becomes more real. And this is the most challenging and painful time of grief. Because during this wave, you start to process your pain and mourning fully, which is really necessary. But this wave will also subside and then give way to the third wave, known as the reconciliation with reality. And in this wave, the heart knows what the head always knew. So you find creative and more meaningful ways to remain connected to your loved one. And you've come to realize that the relationship with your loved one has changed, but has not ended. So you now understand that you're still lovingly connected with them. And you find purpose and meaning while holding on to your loved one in your heart.
So, how do waves of grief apply to the collective experience of the pandemic? And where are we in the grieving process?
Wow, excellent question. I think the waves of grief apply in the sense that we've lost the life that we once knew due to the virus. So I think we're currently in the encounter wave of COVID-19. And this is a very difficult part of grief. But it's a normal response when we're deprived from something or someone of personal significance. I think we've all have felt that during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And now, like, this has gone on all too long. And you may be telling yourself daily, just as a grieving person does after their loved one's death, can I go on? And how can I go on in the new normal?
Well, how do positive eating habits nourish the spirit as well as the body? And like, I definitely need to know this because I got to lose weight.
Many people do. You're not on that journey alone or that desire or goal. Well, the benefits of a well-balanced diet, I'm sure many people know, but it's a matter of actual practice, right? And making it part of your own lifestyle. Really all of the energy you need to keep active throughout the day when you eat well, the nutrients you will receive to stay strong and healthier by a more balanced diet. And it helps to prevent diet-related illness. So nourishing the body, because we're much more than just a body. So therefore, in turn, it will nourish the spirit. And it will help you attain your own unique inner Zen, as I like to call it. And your inner peace is so critical to coping with outer troubles or external situations that you may face in your life at some point. Like we say, crisis is inevitable at times. So when you have mental and spiritual clarity, you can catch life's curveballs with confidence.
All right, we're going to take a commercial break and we'll be right back. Welcome back with Irene. So Irene, why is learning to slow down and wait important? And how do we do it?
Yeah, the good question to sometimes ask ourselves is, why are we so obsessed with speed? Like in everything we do, we want to be quicker, more efficient, more productive. And this is really just to say that we want everything to be faster. And speed, I guess that's because speed is so rewarded in our society by career promotions, praise from our peers, and even our own personal belief that we're doing something well. So one way to promote engagement and learning is to consciously, I should say, create pauses throughout the day, referred to as a mindful wait time. So when you feel hurried or rushed, just slow down. SLOW. S, see that you're rushing. That's it. See it, notice it, recognize it. L, live that moment. So what does that mean? That means, what are you doing at that exact moment? All we really have now is the now, is the present. So live that moment. Stop thinking about what is that you want to get and so on and so forth. Just live in the moment. Live in the moment. Experience and focus what's in front of you. Because if you don't, it will be gone. It's gone. That moment's gone. Open awareness. Open awareness. So as you continue doing what you're doing, pay attention to what thoughts and feelings cross your mind. Be aware of them. If you keep feeling rushed, just be aware of it. Don't judge it. And if you need to repeat the SNL steps, and just calm down and keep an open awareness. And then the W, of course, is to wait. Wait. After you've finished what you're doing, take a few minutes, wait, relax. Like I mentioned earlier, pause. And before moving into anything else, even if you take your time on one project, jumping into a new project immediately is a form of rushing in its own way. So take time between tasks. Drink a glass of water, watch the sky, take a few stretches, take a 10-minute walk. Or one of my favorites, because I was on a yoga retreat just this past weekend. And one of my favorite things we did there together was together as a group of about 16 of us was to eat in silence, not a word. And that really helps you slow down. You're feeling calm, unhurried, and you start to enjoy that process. It can become quite addicting after some time.
Well, I'm definitely going to have to try that because I'm Italian and there's always a lot of noise and we eat fast because we just want to take the food in, you know?
Yeah.
But I wanted to get into, tell us about, because we have a lot in common. So I took care of my grandmother till she was 101 years old. And obviously you're a caregiver to your mom. How has she enriched your life? Because they're just so special as they get older.
Oh, well, that definitely. Oh, my goodness. Well, my personal caregiving journey began in 2013 with my own mother. Yes, Caroline. And she was diagnosed with dementia at the age of 89. And she's now 97 years young. And so it's been an 8-year journey for me so far.
God
My
bless.
mother lives in Winnipeg and I live in Montreal. And I continue to be actively involved in her care, but from a distance. So this experience has taught me definitely, like I mentioned before, but even much more so, the importance of living in the present moment when I'm with her. And to realize after 7 years of this journey, you come to realize my own inner strength, my resilience, and my capacity to care and to give. And with my mother aging, oh my goodness, and being her caregiver, basically, she's enriched my life this way, in a way that the caregiving, it's opened up my heart to a love I've never known before. And it's a labor of love. And I'm doing it, and I know that I will have no regret.
Now, do your siblings help you? Because I know, it was very hard with me. My grandmother passed away, and it was very hard. Like, thank God my mom and dad would come and feed my grandmother at night, but just giving her the medicine in the morning and just it was a lot of work. And I had a lot of cousins, but they only visited, when they could because they didn't live very close. So my brother, they didn't live close. I mean, do you get support from your siblings?
Both my siblings have passed on.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So I am the youngest and only daughter. I'm the youngest child and only daughter. But I've taken on this role with great love and acceptance in what will be.
God
And yes, I
bless.
do have a huge extended family in Winnipeg of cousins and their spouses and their children, and they do visit. But the actual caregiving is me as her daughter, and it's a gift in that regard. So the most support I get really is from the staff there, and the rapport that we built over the years, and especially from her family doctor at the home, who's been the biggest support. I mean, I can call him anytime,
Oh, that's
24/7.
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Irene, can you tell us about your book, Caregiving, A Journey of the Heart, and what led you to share this journey?
Well, it was a calling, a little voice inside of me, and I tried to ignore it because I'm not a writer per se, but it got louder and louder. And I knew that my caregiving journey, I would have to share it in hopes that others will benefit from my experience and have the tools necessary to keep up and keep going. So caregiving is such an emotional roller coaster, right? Of ups and downs and highs and lows. So how do you manage? And Caregiving, A Journey of the Heart was written to answer the how. The book is a message of hope and inspiration. And it was published in 2018, and it became an Amazon International bestseller. And there are 8 co-authors as well that share their wisdom and experience as caregiving for a loved one.
Yeah, and one of them's Carolyn. So I was like,
And
I know
one of
too.
them is Carolyn Flower, indeed. Yeah, the person who had guided me through the entire self-publishing process.
I just love her. She just, you know, I'm just so blessed. You know, I almost feel like I have another life in Canada and I'm not even there. But what's the next Optum Health Clinic and personal journey to ultimate health and vitality?
Well, I think the next thing for my clinic and for my business would basically be I want to create an online course on trauma.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yes, to really, really help. My mission is really to eradicate PTSD and trauma in itself. I don't believe it's a prison sentence and that you have to live with it. And then always, and my own personal journey to ultimate health and vitality is ongoing. It has been since 2004, really, when my eldest brother passed away, my first brother. So it's always to continue to learn, to grow, and stay committed to my own personal practice, specifically in yoga and meditation.
That's awesome. Well,
Walk the talk.
Oh, I like walk the talk. I like
Yeah.
that. We're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back with a conclusion with Irene Andrejczuk.
And we're back. Before we wrap up, we have one last question, Irene. If you were to interview yourself, what question would you ask?
If I were to interview myself, what question would I ask? I guess I would ask myself, what is the biggest lesson you have gained when helping others?
That's a great question. Awesome. Thank you, Irene. It's been a treat visiting with you. Look for Irene Andrejczuk on her website at www.optimumhealthclinic.ca, where you can sign up for her free hormone balance checklist and monthly newsletter, get information on her health services and counseling, and purchase her book. You can follow, like, and subscribe to Irene on Facebook under Irene Andrejczuk, ANDREJCZUK, on Instagram at Irene.Andrejczuk_naturopath, and on LinkedIn under Irene Andrejczuk. As always, thank you for tuning in to Mupo and Friends, courtesy of Mupo TV. You can watch this show and others at www.mupoentertainment.com. That's www.mupoentertainment.com. This is Jessilyn Persson with our host, Michele Mupo. Until next time,
have a Mupo awesome week.